Hey everybody, welcome to Gimme A Song. This is our third episode. Today we're going to talk a little bit of hip hop and rap. And today, as like I always say, so let's just talk about the podcast first. Podcast is called Gimme A Song, and what I do is I invite one of my friends on, and then they give me a song, and then I give them a song in response. So today I brought on Travis Anderson. Travis, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
A little bit about me. I am a comedian. I've been doing comedy about 9 years. 9 years of actually being serious with it, a little traveling around, being booked, not just, doing open mics. So, you can get caught up in the open mic thing for years.
That's very true. What is your biggest accomplishment as a comedian?
Biggest accomplishment as a comedian? I think my own personal goal for me was getting up in my car, just going out of town by myself. I actually did it was kind of like a humbug. I went to Kansas City, and there was a comedian named Little JJ, and they were actually like on a tour, Wild and Out tour.
Yeah.
So I kind of went there to just check out the show, and after the show, I kind of talked to him, let them know, hey, you did a pretty good job or whatever, and let them know I know you're going to be in St. Louis in the next couple of weeks. And he said, who I was up here with? I was like, hey, I'm up here by myself, just came up here to check you out. And he said, hey, you want to do 5 minutes? I said, I knew it was a possibility, it's like that I could do sometime. I was like, yeah. So, but it was a packed house, man. It was a packed house at the Improv.
Okay.
And I did my thing. Like one of the best jokes, that I used here, I took there, went to Nashville, I did it. So just basically taking my talents out of town, just to see if I can do it myself with no one else around, because you're not going to always be able to have your comedians buddies with you. If you get booked in Arizona somewhere, it's just you. So can you be the same you that you are in your own city out of town? So that
was that the first time you were on a stage somewhere else?
It wasn't the first time I was on stage by myself. Going out of town by myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, just going out of town by myself, just getting up, going, in the car, and just like, all right, I'm finna see if I can.
How nervous? So I've been out of town, and I've been in different places. We talked about that earlier. What was it like that? How nervous were you when you weren't in St. Louis anymore, up on stage?
I really wasn't nervous. I didn't know I was actually going to go up. I knew it was a possibility. So it's like one of those things, stay ready. Always just stay ready. Because my plan was to really talk to him and see if I can get some time in St. Louis when he came. He was like, hell, if you got 5 minutes, you can go up tonight.
Okay.
Like, oh shit! All right. So my mind kind of started racing. I'm kind of reading the room. And I was like, all right, it's a good crowd, and it was more of a exciting, anxious feeling. I wasn't scared. It was like, all right, let me see what I'm gonna hit them with. Yeah. And I did good, man. I was proud of myself. So that was one of the things that I was like,
Did they put you on in St. Louis too?
No, they didn't put me on St. Louis, only because I wasn't in town then. So,
okay. Gotcha.
So I went out of town with my wife, so they kind of like, all right, well, I did Kansas City, so I guess I kind of missed this one. Yeah.
I would take Kansas City over St. Louis because it's like the odds of you getting booked in St. Louis are usually pretty good. Right. But like being out in Kansas City and getting that guest spot, that's a big deal.
It was definitely fun. Got to kind of network, met some comedians out there. Switch social media, so it was cool.
Nice. All right, so let's jump right in. Okay.
All right.
So I asked you to give me a song, and what I like about this so far is people have been taking this serious. All right, so I don't know what happens the day when somebody just gives me like like a joke song or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do because somebody's going to try and pull that at some point. Yeah. But you took it serious. What was the name of the song you gave me, and who's it by?
It's called Letter to the Lost by Pedro Giovanni.
Okay.
Basically, to me, it's a motivational song. Man.
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
I think sometimes just in life and in even as a comedian, man, you can have so many, good shows, and then you fall into that slump where you're not getting booked.
Yeah.
Seems like shit's not going right.
Yeah.
All your peers, they getting booked and everything. It's like, damn, what am I, just not doing right?
Yeah.
That song is just like motivational. It just tells you to like keep going.
Yeah.
Stay disciplined. Don't curl up. Just keep going.
Yeah. How did you find this song? Let's start there.
Good old Spotify, man. So you know how you listen to certain artists and then they'll actually
like suggest
another artist. So that's kind of like what happened. They just
what was on the playlist that led to this song? Do you know, or do you remember?
I was listening to an artist called Larry June.
Okay.
So I think I went to Larry June Radio, and then that came up.
All right.
That particular artist came up.
And they got a song together, right?
I don't think they have a song together. It just kind of stuck out to me. Letter to the Lost. Like, all right, let's see. Let's see.
Did you favorite while you were listening to it the first time, or did it come up a couple times?
I listened to it and then I put it back on repeat. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, checking out the lyrics. And it kind of grabbed me just with the initial, just how it came out. It just grabbed me. So I put it on repeat. Then I added it, to my faves on my playlist, and I've been rocking with the song ever since.
No, so what I do when people give me a song is I listen to it a couple times, and then, like I said, we'll talk about the song I gave you after this. But I listened to it a couple times, and the first thing I noticed was like he just jumps right in.
Yeah.
Like just immediately, he's like, "Hey, you need to get your life together,
basically.
And I'm gonna tell you how to do it," which is, people always talk about hip hop and how there's a lot of inspirational good songs out there. You gotta find them sometimes.
Definitely.
They're not just out there. Those aren't the singles. Nobody really puts those out there as like their first song off their new album. It's never like here's a good song to like better yourself. It's never that.
Right.
Usually it's like I can't stand everybody else and I'm the best. But whatever. But that's what I love about hip hop. It's like I love that attitude. But he just comes in there and he's just like, here you go, man. Here's a blueprint.
Yeah.
He's like, what did he sell at one point? He's like, sell the chain, sell the shoes.
Basically, I like to say the song kind of like found me.
Okay.
The song like here you go. This is what you need to hear.
Yeah.
So the song kind of like found me, and that's that's one of the lyrics. If you need some money to invest, fuck the chain, fuck the Rolex or whatever.
Yeah.
Sell that because it's not worth nothing right now anyway. You instead to invest in what you're trying to do in the long run.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that. It's just something like I can relate to. Get out and network.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm trying to get better at. Because I can be a little standoffish a little bit. I'm always kind of like observing people like, he's a fucking weirdo. But networking itself is a skill. Some people are just naturally good at talking and networking, and I'm one of those people like I have to warm up to you, like, if you cool, like, we good, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When we first met, I kind of got that vibe. It was like, okay, like, all right, But I'll try to get along with everybody,
That's me.
And then, I'll judge you behind your back.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I, I don't know if you do this, you talked about open mics, like, you're at open mics and you see people and you're like, they ain't about nothing. But then they're like a year later, and then finally you realize, like, oh, man, they're pretty good, or they're not bad, but that first initial, like, just that initial hater mode,
You know what? Like, okay, so when it comes to like when I first hear people, because sometimes you have to actually talk to a person, to really get their humor.
Right.
Like, I can really tell if somebody is funny in conversation. If we're having just a regular conversation, and that's when you're not trying to be funny.
Right.
You're just completely yourself, and it's taking that on stage because a lot of times. We're trying to figure ourselves out. We're still trying to find our voice. You can be doing this shit for 7, 8, 9 years, and you're still trying to like find your voice.
Yeah.
So I have to look at somebody a few times to say, nah, it's trash.
This ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, this ain't gonna happen. But there has been people who you seem like, okay, if they keep going, they'll be pretty good. And voila.
Yeah. I always you talk about that, and like you've been doing comedy. You said like 8 or 9 years, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm about year 5, right?
Okay.
And I think just now people are starting to figure like what I do out. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. I'm not like trying to rush nothing or anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see somebody who like starts out after you, and then he's like he or she's getting tons of work, and you're like, oh come on, like
yeah. You know what? It's one of those
funny.
things that you can't hate the player.
Right? No, you gotta hate the game. Yeah, of course. Like,
and sometimes it can just be their time.
Yeah.
It
No,
can just,
absolutely.
Even if you started before them, it's just their season. So I never get mad at that. Only when we know they're actually trash.
Yeah.
Like, it's like some people, okay, you got solid, okay, he's a solid comedian. He's very funny, I can see why. But some people, it's like, come on, man, like, how long we gonna keep doing this shit? Like, really, like, I can't get a fucking chance. It's like, all right.
Yeah, no, I get that. So what other lines stick out to you about the song? So I got a couple, but you tell me one besides, like I said, the first one I noticed was like I said, sell the stuff, start investing in something else.
Yeah.
Like if you need money, you know, start investing. What was another one that like stuck out to you, or like sticks with you? Like every time you hear it, you're like, that's the line. That's it.
Basically, okay. So with me being married, what really stuck out to me is when he said the line, you want to tell, you basically want to tell your girl that we can go.
Yeah.
So you don't want to tell your girl we can't afford it. Hell
right.
no.
Yeah.
And I've been there like, hey, babe, the money fucked up right now. We can't go out of town.
Right.
So that kind of like just stuck. I wouldn't keep going. You don't want to be that guy that, when your girl want to take trips or, just want to live a little bit and you're just like, man, no, we can't do this shit.
Right.
No, you want to, it's all about discipline. To me, that song's about like discipline. Yeah. Just keep going. Don't fall in this depression, this rut.
Yeah.
Just keep going, man. Yeah. If you got to make some sacrifice, you got to sell some shit that's really not bringing any value to you right now. Sell it. Yeah. Use the money for maybe, I don't know, go out of town. Yeah. Get your name out. Network. Yeah. So that kind of like stuck out to me.
The start of the second verse, he talks about like people like being given stuff. Yeah. And he's like, hey, teach somebody to fish. Like teach them how to the game. Don't just give them stuff because they're not going to appreciate that. Right. That really stuck out with me.
It'll cripple you, and that's
yeah, and that's how he says, it'll cripple you. Yeah.
Because I think anything that you work for yourself, that you got it out the mud yourself, you work for, you're going to appreciate it more. If you're just getting hand out, you're not going to really appreciate it as much.
No, no. That makes sense.
That's what I got from it. So,
What do you think of the beat? Are you a big beat guy?
I am a big beat guy. Yeah. I think the beat, it sounds like an inspirational beat to me. Yeah. He comes on, he rolled the beat well. It just sounds like a well thought out written song. Like he really put some emotion into it. Like this is something that he actually went through. Right. Yeah. And he kind of says that towards the end. He said, "We all been there. Like, hell, I'm even I still go through it. Right. But sometimes I think we all feel lost, man.
Man, you're sitting there talking about comedy and like you're like how you feel about like not getting those opportunities, man. It's like that's hard, man. I mean, it really is, and that's what people don't understand is like. So the other people I've had on the podcast are like where we're all at. We're all at the same place, and so to tell people who may stumble across this or actually seek it out, like we're all kind of like in this spot where most of us aren't headlining. Right. And we're just kind of like we're trying to get our spots in. So either we're hosting somewhere or we're featuring somewhere. We're not there. Right. And some of us may get there and some of us may not. We know that, but it's like we're not booked every weekend either. Right. And so like we have we talked about this a lot in the other ones. We all have full-time jobs. Definitely. It's like we have a gig and then we're trying to make this, a transition. And we know it may never be more than a hobby and like some pocket change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, And so you listen to a song like this and it's like, all right, man, I can keep going. I'll go another day. I'll go another round.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
And you know, your friends will ask you, or you know, the missus, like you said, you're getting married, or you're married. I'm getting married. And sometimes you have that conversation. It's like, how much longer? And it's like, please don't do this to me yet. Like a little bit more, you know. And you get that breakthrough, and then you get that setback, and it's just like, you know. But you feel yourself moving up.
Yeah.
You feel yourself like getting there. You know, you see things more a little bit differently. You get better, and then it's like, and your phone goes dry for a month or two.
Definitely, because you'll have those shows, you'll have those performances to where your peers have seen you like, all right, so I'm moving up. You know, people coming up to you like, keep going.
Yeah.
And sometimes that keep going from people in the audience or your peers is worth more than the little money you make at that time.
The money doesn't mean anything.
Because very seldom are you getting paid what you think you should be getting paid anyway.
Right.
So it's like, all right.
There's no money in comedy unless you're like, when you're a name, there's money, but not before that. There's no money. Like you're talking $20 for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. And the only other way to kind of like skip the line, if you want to say that, is social media.
Yeah.
Marketing is a big part.
Yeah.
If they can sell you, or if you can sell yourself, because there's people now who are headlining that talent-wise probably shouldn't be headlining.
Right.
But again, you can't hate the player.
Yeah.
They market themselves so well.
Yeah.
And they can bring people out. They're likable.
Yeah.
You can be
likable goes a long way.
You can be a great fucking comedian, but if you're not likable, you're not marketable. Then
no, likable goes a long way. People will tolerate likable for a long time. They won't tolerate great and annoying for very long. I used to, we talked about, I'm a former teacher, and we talked about this, and I taught at a performing arts school, and we had a dance department, and we had at least 3 or 4 kids a year who actually did get jobs in a ballet immediately, or in a traveling dance troupe. Like we've had students who have been at like Lion King, like on the Broadway production, not the traveling one, but like the Broadway production of Lion King. We had a student who was on that. And I would tell these students, and I didn't know I was going to be a comedian, or try to, at the time, but I was like, they're going to want you to be there 5 minutes early. They're going to want you to put in the time. They're going to want to know that you care, because they're not going to put up with, you're a diva in my math classroom now. That's not going to work in the real world. No one's going to, like, you're not a diva. You don't get to be a diva. None of us do, because you're replaceable. You think, like, we're talented and we're funny, but it's like a lot of people are funny and talented. It's like, well, what else do you bring?
So what separates you from the rest? Because everybody is not everybody, but a lot of people are funny. Are talented. So
So I like the beat. I like that. One thing I kind of wish for, and I don't really do this in songs very often, but I was always waiting for like this big pop, like a level up, just the big break. That never happens, and it's cool that it doesn't happen. But at the same time, I was like, thinking of like Lose Yourself, like as an example of like a similar type song, an inspirational, and that builds into like this big crescendo of this big, and you're doing this, and it's like, I'm kind of glad it didn't, but at the same time, it's like, I'd love to hear a version where it does. You know what I'm saying?
I think Lose Yourself is more about facing the moment at that moment. That particular song is just, for me, it's like when you're in a wreck. It's like, man, what the hell I'm going to do? And then he's just like talking to you. It's like,
like a pep talk.
Motivation,
No, and that's a good difference between the two. One's like, all right, let's go do this. And the other one's like, okay, let's reflect on what happened.
Let's reflect, and then you turn on and Lose Yourself. Like, all right, now I'm there.
It's a good 1-2 punch then, maybe. Like, all right, I'm back.
All right,
now let's go. Payroll Giovanni. Name sounds like it came out of a Wu-Tang generator.
Definitely.
Like Childish Gambino, which did actually come out of the Wu-Tang name generator. And then they said Post Malone did the same thing. Like that's where his name supposedly came from. But I don't know. You don't listen to him, you were saying.
That was actually my first time coming across him.
Okay.
When I kind of looked into him, I think he's from Detroit.
Yes.
I think he was in a certain group. I can't think of the name of it right now.
We'll put it on the bottom.
Yeah.
We'll put down at the bottom. We'll put the name of the group there.
I listened to a few other songs that he had. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
I've actually been meaning to just look into him a little bit more, but I have
Yeah.
so many others. I'm one of those people I have a playlist, and I'll listen to these various artists' certain songs over and over.
Yeah.
So, not that they don't have tons of other good songs,
Right.
but I'm so stuck on this song. I'll put this fucking song on repeat 1,000 times.
Right.
And then one day out the blue, it's all right, let me see what else he got.
Okay.
And then I'll find another treasure, you know what I mean? So.
No, that's good. It's just different approach. For me, it's if I find a song you like, I want to know all your songs.
Yeah.
So I was actually listening to some of the other stuff, and it was all right. Some of it was hit or miss. Some of it was really good.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of the trap music, like I Hustle, that kind of thing, which makes sense with this song too.
Yeah.
Because it is like a hustle song, but it's like an inspirational hustle song.
Right. I think that song itself, because those are some of the other songs that I kind of heard too when I read them.
Yeah.
It's a little different than this particular song.
Yeah.
But I think this particular song, anybody can just get some type of inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
From it. So.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but we'll say it now. Please stop this podcast real quick and go listen to this song. That way you know what we're talking about when we're talking about specific points in the song. You go oh, that makes sense. I'm supposed to leave with that. This podcast is new. We'll get this figured out. We'll get it squared away as we build the podcast up. But please take a minute, go listen to this song, and then either rewind it or play it back. Play the podcast about 4 or 5 times. But listen to the song. I mean, there's no point in us talking about it if you don't know what we're talking about. So the song is called "Letter to the Lost" by Payroll Giovanni, and yeah, is there any good song? Great song. We'll go great.
Yeah.
Is there anything about the song you think we missed or you want to cover?
I think we pretty much detailed the song. I mean, it's not that long of a song. He gets straight to the point.
Yeah, it's like 2 verses and then a talking
Get up off your ass. Don't forget who you are.
Right.
We all go through it.
We do all go through it.
And sometimes you need to hear that because sometimes we think that we're the only ones going through this. Why is this happening to me?
Right.
This song kind of lets you know, hey, it happens to the best of us. Just don't forget who the hell you are. Get up, keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all need to hear that, man.
We do need to hear that. And let's transition then. So the second half of this song, or this podcast, is that somebody gives me a song, and I want to give them a song back. All right, so it's when you're talking to your friends, and oh, you heard this song. It's oh, you got to hear this song. That's always how people are, So it's that's the point of this podcast. So what was the song I gave you?
You gave me Biggie, Sky's the Limit.
Notorious Big is how you'll find it. Can't find it. Everybody calls him Biggie Smalls because that's what he went by. But then there was another rapper going by Biggie Smalls, so he had changed his name to Notorious B.I.G. All right. Did you know the song before I gave it to you?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
What do you think of Sky's the Limit?
Sky's the Limit is it's a classic song.
It's a classic song.
It's a classic song. I mean, it's Biggie.
It is Biggie. Okay, let's talk about this. If you had to go top 5, where's Biggie? Is Biggie in your top 5?
I can say Biggie's in the top 5. Yeah.
Okay, Biggie's in the top 5. Yeah. All right. Is he? He's not number 1, no. Who's number 1?
Number 1?
And if you don't have a number 1 day, it's okay. But if you have a number 1, who's number 1?
We're gonna say Pac.
You're gonna say Pac?
We're gonna say Pac.
Okay. I would go the other way.
Biggie,
then Pac.
Okay.
Pac put out a boatload of music,
and
it's not all there. Some of it's really great. Right. Like Dear Mama, and All Eyes on Me. I love everything on All Eyes on Me.
Okay.
But then some of it's Machiavelli.
Yeah.
I could give or take.
Okay.
But Biggie never had a chance to fall off because he only put out 2 albums and then Junior Mafia.
Yeah.
So every verse is
I just think Pac just body of work itself just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Of course, Biggie was more lyrical.
Yeah.
Metaphorically and everything.
Yeah.
He was more lyrical, and I like Biggie. Pac just spoke with emotion. He had this
Yeah.
thing of speaking with emotion and make you feel.
Yeah, I have a theory. Do you want to hear my theory?
What's your theory?
Okay, and then don't get offended by this theory.
Okay.
And if it is, we'll just delete this and this never happened. My theory is this, is that black people love Tupac more because he's talking to them. And then everyone else loves Biggie because Biggie's just rapping.
Okay.
Like Pac represented.
Yeah.
And not to say that Biggie didn't represent, but like it's just a different vibe. Like Pac, like I just from my outside perspective. Again, I'm not black. I don't know if you knew that. Right? Yeah, really light skin. But he was talking about society, black culture in general. Biggie was just like, I'm Biggie. I'm the best rapper ever.
Right.
Here's some cool flows. Here's me selling drugs. Here's me doing this.
Right.
Where Tupac was like, holla if you hear me. Just Tupac lives now. Everything was just
what's really going on.
What's really going on? Yeah.
And I think it's all a preference on, what touches you in that moment. It's kind of like, even with like comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
So in comedy, you have different styles. You have the punchline comedian, witty. It's like, this witty fucking joke.
Yeah.
But then you'll have someone like, say like George Carlin, who's just telling you what the fuck is going on in the world.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Right.
And it's real. You can never beat real.
Right.
No matter how technical, but this is real.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Because, punchline is hit or miss. Either you get it or you don't. It's slick. It's like, oh, man, that was witty. I like how he... And, Biggie definitely had a way with that.
Yeah.
If you want to hear something real, then you put on Pac. If you want to hear something like, oh, damn, that was clever. I like that punchline.
I think it's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
So it's all your preference.
Absolutely.
One day I might want to hear some real shit. I just need to hear something real.
Yeah.
The next day I'm feeling, I want to hear some witty shit. So, and sometimes even with comedy, I kind of like struggle with that because I'm naturally a storyteller and I like to talk about real stuff I'm going through. Mm-hmm. But man, I love a witty comedian that can set it up, punchline, deliver. And
Who's your go-to guy for that? Who's your witty comedian that you just like, how does he come up with this? Like, where is this even coming from?
Let me give you my top comedians.
Sure. Please do.
Corey Holcomb.
Okay.
I like Bill Burr. No particular order.
Yeah. No, okay.
That's an Italian guy named Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian. I don't know his last name. Well, again, we'll put it down at the bottom.
Yeah. Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
And there's a new guy. He's not. I'm not going to say he's. His name is Henry Coleman.
Okay, I haven't heard of him yet.
Actually,
I'll look out for him.
Actually, he was just here.
Okay. Did you go see him while he was here?
I didn't go see him. Yeah, I had some family stuff.
Yeah.
But I've seen him a few times. So.
Okay.
But and it's like dark witty.
Yeah.
I think like Corey Holcomb is dark, like witty.
Anthony Jeselnik, you listen to him?
Not
no, we've talked about this. I told you to listen to him, and Anthony Jeselnik. I'll message you. I'll DM you it.
Cool.
But you'll like it. It's that guy, like when you talk about like witty, well written jokes. That's all he is. Like it's just like these just clear and they're the darkest jokes ever.
Yeah.
Like I can't describe how dark these jokes are.
And they be so well structured. Like
yes.
the punchline, witty comedy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The writing is just so well structured. So
So let's get. So that was a good aside. let's get to Sky's Limit. I gave you Sky's Limit, thinking to myself, I'm like, man, inspirational rap. I want to go there. Like I want to have like an inspirational rap discussion. I didn't want to go lyrics. I wanted to go like inspirational, something that always made me feel like better after listening to it. Because I knew that's what you were getting at.
Yeah.
I got that vibe. And so I gave you Sky's Limit. And then I knew the lyrics. I could rap Sky's Limit right now. but I never really paid attention. It's not comparing it to Letter to the Lost, which is like a blueprint.
Yeah.
This is like Biggie's like, oh, here's how I made it.
Yeah.
Like I was a kid at school that bullied other kids.
Took money.
When I was in high school, I sold, and then I became a rapper, and I'm famous and rich, and here's how I did it. And there's no like. Here's how you can do it.
Right.
There's none of that. There's just
I did
it. I did good at it. I was, the kids tried to make fun of me because I had the fake, fake eyes on, and I punched that kid and told him to get in line.
Now his crew is my crew.
And and then he's like, like I said, the second verse he's just like, okay, now I'm selling drugs, and that's how he opens the verse, and then the third verse he's like, oh, okay, well I can't do this forever. Now I'm going to become a rapper, so I can, I guess, launder the money, basically. One of my favorite Jay-Z's lines is he's like, I'm still spending money from 88. From 88, because it's just like, that's how much I made, and I'm still trying to. But Biggie was just like, and you said this before we started filming, but say it now. What makes Sky's the Limit inspirational?
It's the chorus.
It's the chorus.
It's the fucking chorus. After Biggie says that he whooped the guy's ass, I took his money. All right, what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be a rapper. You know what? Fuck it. The sky's the limit
for me.
Now the funniest part of that damn song, man, is when he said he sold on the alligator.
Yeah.
And the guy was finna riff on him. He just punched him like, stay in your fucking place.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
They wanted to read. Somebody's actually reaching for the tab. The one thing about Biggie that's so great is that you can visualize some kid at the playground saying that's fake. Oh, let's see the tag, and going and reaching and then just catching one right in the eye.
He vividly paints the picture and puts you right there.
Yeah, you feel like you were one of his classmates the whole time. Watch this kid, and you're like, oh, he ain't about nothing. And then 5 years, it's that comedian that you see beforehand. It's like, oh, you ain't about nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, when did you, you got a cell phone in class? Could you imagine? And we're talking 96 is when the song came out, right? So if he's talking even 5 years sooner than that, that he's got the big block with the line, and he's just pulling this out in class and be like, hold on, it's not like now where everyone's got a cell phone and your kids answer in the cell phone, it's not that. We're talking the big Motorola, the big old.
I'm the only one who got this shit.
Right. And he'd probably be like, you'd tell the teacher, I'm doing drug deals and walk outside. The movie, remember the Notorious movie, where he's like, oh, you're going to be a garbage man one day, and he comes up and he slaps the amount the garbage man makes, and he's like, I'll make more. But it just, all of Biggie's music is how great I am, which is kind of weird. That's your theme, that's who you are. But this song is I was like this from day one. And it's not, there's no inspiration to be gained from it until you hear the chorus. And that chorus is amazing.
Because they sang it so sweet.
Okay,
I can do it.
Yeah, keep on and keep on pressing on. Oh yeah, but you can't. You're not going to be Biggie. Are you going to, we were literally having a debate on whether or not Biggie was the greatest MC of all time or number 2. Right. That's not you. That's not most of us,
Not at all.
We talked about videos. You didn't know that Payroll Giovanni had a video to Letter to the Lost. You're going to watch that after this, and it's an all right video.
I watched a little bit of it, and I kind of get it from a poetry standpoint.
He's sitting in the corner. They show him driving around.
That's kind of like how visualized he probably made the fucking song. Okay. It's like a well thought out wrote song.
But tell me about the video, Sky's the Limit.
Okay, so Biggie and I guess there's Diddy.
That's gotta be.
That's gotta be.
Gotta be Puff.
They get out the car and as fucking kids, they just knew they was gonna be stars.
They were stars as kids. The most accurate looking little kid. This kid looks exactly like Biggie as a little kid.
They couldn't have found a better fucking kid.
No, and they got the kid rapping the lyrics though. Like he's just like, dropping the N-word, dropping F-bombs, he's just having a blast, and then they got girls dancing in the background in swimsuits, like 8-year-old girls. If you made this video, knowing what we know about Diddy now, and you made this video today, like you couldn't make this video. You couldn't make this video today, but you couldn't have Puffy in it, right?
You couldn't have Puffy in it.
Oh man, who knew? I mean, people did know. I mean,
definitely, people knew,
but that video is just spectacular. It's so well shot. It's not cheap.
Say what you want to about Puff. He made some of the best fucking videos.
Absolutely,
growing up. Like the Hypnotized video was one of the best videos.
They're on the ski boat. Like
he made the luxurious life rap style.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean there was people, but nothing like this. Like the Louis Vuitton everywhere, the Gucci everywhere.
I'm on the boat with the shit. Right. I'm on the yacht with Versace and drinks and girls, and that shit sticks in your head as a kid because you're like, I want to be on the boat with
When does this happen for me? It doesn't.
And you're like, it can happen.
Let me just take. Come on. When a cat say, "Let me take you shopping," like, no. And then 50 jokes about that all the time. 50 Cent about the taking him shopping. He said, "Did he want to take him shopping?" And he's like, "No."
But then you see pictures with both of them. He got his arm around
Diddy. They did the "I Get Money" remix. Remember that?
He fucking did.
With Jay-Z, him, and 50. Because they were all billionaires at the time. Sky's the Limit's great. It was directed by a guy named Spike Jonze. Are you familiar with Spike Jonze?
Spike Jonze.
He directs.
I thought you were going to say Spike Lee at first. But
No, it was not Spike Lee. It was not Spike Lee. Although it could be a Spike Lee film. It wasn't. I know it wasn't. But Spike Jonze is the guy who directed. The last big movie he directed was Her, with Scarlett Johansson as the robot, the AI voice.
I like that movie.
He directed it.
Really?
So and he's got other bunch of
damn research. He's a hip hop enthusiast.
I am a hip hop enthusiast. I love hip hop. Like if I never talked to anyone else about anything, I could do this podcast on hip hop alone. Just talking to people about. I love hip hop so much. You have no idea. Like honestly, I
heard the passion in your voice. I heard the passion. I was like,
first rap song I ever really heard. I heard Rapper's Delight. I'm old, and I remember it. But Kings of Rock by Run DMC was just changed my life. And then a friend of mine gave me an Eazy-E tape when it first came out, and that was.
So what's the first cassette tape of rap that you ever had?
That I bought?
That you bought yourself?
I can tell you the first CD I got was DOC's No One Can Do It Better. Because I got into NWA on the ground floor. I think Strata Compton might have been the first one. And that it just went from there. Really big on West Coast for a long time.
I think we all were.
Yeah.
I think the West Coast had the game in the chokehold. So.
My older sister didn't listen to. She dated a guy who loved the Beastie Boys. Yeah. And he drove me to the store one day and he played "Girls" by the Beastie Boys in there. You remember that song?
Yeah.
Girls, and I was just all right, this is what I need to be listening to. And I love rap music. It's just hard to find new people. It's hard to find new MCs that are really putting in the work. And it's hard to find, at my age, it's hard to find those people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want, I can't relate to an 18-year-old drill rapper.
Right.
I just discovered the Jacksonville drill scene. Yeah. Where these dudes are just killing each other. Yeah. And they're rapping about killing each other. Yeah. And they're literally killing each other. Yeah. And it's hard. It's I can't support this. I don't care how dope you think you are, how crazy these beats are. Right. I can't support this because you guys are literally out there doing these things. We're not even
And you know what's crazy? It's if you really think about it, how rap has changed.
Yeah.
Nas was 18 or 19 when he made Illmatic.
Oh,
and
I
you
love
can, as a
Illmatic.
grown man, you can go back and listen to that. Like it's very lyrical. It's very
absolutely.
Like
I
don't know what to say about rap now. This shit is...
Have you been keeping up on Nas?
Yeah.
Did you listen to like?
I haven't listened to his latest.
So he's got these two different, it's the Magic and then the King's Disease series.
Yeah.
And he put out 3 of each. 6 albums in the last 6 years by the same producer with like very few. It's Hit Boy, and it's just him and Hit Boy, and they just have been making these albums. And he's like, I'm 50 and I'm rapping now, and he's like, I didn't think I'd be doing that,
because he has his hardcore hip hop fan base.
Well, and he just wants to keep doing it.
He wants to keep doing it.
I didn't, it was funny, like when I was 20, 21, 22, and like rappers were my age and stuff like that. I'm the same age as Nas. I'm the same age as Mobb Deep, you know. And there, it was like, I'm never gonna make it to. They'd always talk about how they were never gonna make it past 30.
Yeah.
And it's like Nas just put out an album at 50. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but then Prodigy didn't make it. He passed away. He had sickle cell, really sick. And everything else. I do love rap. I do love Biggie. I love Sky's the Limit. I don't know if I love it like I used to though.
Now,
like I think,
really
when you compare, not that I didn't know, it's just like I said, I just had this taking it and listening to it and comparing it to somebody who was actually trying to be inspirational.
Because it was the chorus that got us. It was the sky is the
and you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna be the next. No, you're not.
and what's funny is when you gave me the song, it's like, okay, I know the song.
Yeah.
But when I really listened to it and then listened to the lyrics,
yeah,
not that I did listen to
it,
but when you really listen to it and break, like, this shit ain't he talking about whooping somebody's ass and taking their fucking money and your crew is now my crew and you talk about my shirt, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And then it comes on skies.
It's almost ironic. There's a big disconnection between the lyrics and the chorus. And that happens every once in a while in rap, but I don't think I've ever noticed it like this before.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like after the fact. Like if you the first 5 or 6 times you listen to Sky's the Limit, it would never dawn on you.
Right.
You're like, oh man, this guy, and then he even says it, live the phrase Sky's the Limit. That's how he ends one of the verses,
Yeah.
Only make moves when your heart's in it and live the phrase Sky's the Limit. The only inspirational thing he said the entire time. Nothing else before or after that. But he's got, and that's, and he's like, and see you chumps on top. And then but that's the next line is like, see you chumps on top. Like, from up top, not you won't be here with me. This is me, Biggie, up on the top of this thing. Only make moves when you live the phrase sky's the limit. See you chumps on top, motherfucker.
Biggie, you not. I'm on top. The sky's the limit.
And then he's got 112 just behind him, just like sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's still a good damn song.
It is. Well, it's a great song. I mean, nothing's gonna change that. Yeah. But it's just now that the one point I wanted to do about this podcast was to deep dive into these songs that we say we love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if somebody says, "Give me a song," and you're like, "Okay, here's something that means something to me." And so it means more, and this is a song that meant something to me. Like it was, like I said, I really looked at it like, oh man, this is inspirational.
And it still does mean something to you.
It does, but just not the same way. Now it's like funny to me because it's like, oh man, this guy just really cared about himself a lot. What's the next song? Okay, you're not gonna know this, and I do. What is the next song on Life After Death after Sky's the Limit?
I have no idea.
It's the 10 Crack Commandments.
Is it?
It is.
That's fucking hilarious.
So after he says "Sky's the," here's the inspirational rap I want you to have. This is my version.
Now get back to the crack. Get him home and whip this fucking crack up.
Right. The 10 Crack Commandments. Yeah, and you know the song, right? Yeah, where he's sitting there telling you the 10 things to be like
what to do, what not to do.
Right. Yeah. That's the song I should have gave you. That's the inspirational Biggie song. Is the 10 Crack Commandments because he's like, hey, here's how I do it.
Get locked up, man.
No, you don't want to get locked up. Here's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
All right, I think we covered everything. So what I want you to do, if you haven't, pause the thing and listen to the videos and watch the videos, listen to the songs. It's Letter to the Lost by Payroll Giovanni. It is Sky's the Limit by Notorious B.I.G. is how you'll find it on Spotify, but we call him Biggie Smalls. Biggie. What was the first Biggie Smalls song that you heard? Do you know?
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Did you? I never thought he was going to be even though I was young.
Yeah.
I never thought that he would be as big as he was.
It was the One More Chance remix. That song like blew up.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Oh, and that's the other thing about Biggie is like if he's not bragging on himself, he's nailing your wife.
Yeah.
He like this guy. That guy's nailing your wife. How?
If that don't give you confidence, you're like, this fat motherfucker can get bitches. Like, no, I can.
With the laziest eye.
The laziest eye. You never really knew. The camera did such good work of not focusing on the eye.
Well, they always had sunglasses on. He always had sunglasses on.
And Puffy can sell you whether you ugly or not. He'll find a way to sell you.
He made Craig Mack. And I'll have a picture of Craig Mack down here. Craig Mack could rap, just for the record. Not an attractive man.
He could rap. They didn't like each other for whatever reason.
Who? Oh, Puffy and Craig Mack?
No, Biggie and Craig Mack.
Probably because there was,
like, it was already one ugly motherfucker on the radio.
Yeah, Craig Mack was first though. Actually,
Craig Mack was first.
He was first. They did the Flavor in Your remix though.
And he said Biggie actually said he didn't want to do that. He said that was for Puff.
LL Cool J was on that.
Cool J was on that.
People don't respect Cool J.
LL Cool J used to be one of my favorite rappers growing up.
And he didn't fall off. He just kind of stopped.
He just stopped. 80. He's been rapping since what? 86. I think he started when he was 16.
Yeah, radio.
So radio came out in what, 86,
85, 86, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Because back then I would, I had older brothers, so I would sneak and listen to their cassette tapes and everything. So even though I was young, like probably maybe 6 or 7 at the time, 8. That's how we got our music, the older brothers cassette tapes.
Yeah, well, I had friends at school, and then Yo MTV Raps was like, because I grew up. So we're in where are we at? We're in Ferguson, or what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I live in Belleville, which is, none of this makes sense to you geographically. We're in St. Louis, but we're kind of on the outskirts of St. Louis. Where I grew up is a farm town attached to an Air Force base 25 miles away from St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I wasn't hearing anything unless it was on TV or somebody had told me. And we didn't have the internet back then, so it's like, finding stuff was hard. LL Cool J was on the Flavor in Your remix and killed it.
He killed it.
Well, I know somebody at some point I'm going to be giving them a LL Cool J song.
Gotta put LL in there, man.
What is the definitive LL Cool J song to you? We're way off topic at this point.
Let's see. No rapper can rap quite like I can. I take I'm bad, man. I'm bad. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that was a good one. Where the whole cannabis feud.
The whole cannabis feud.
We can talk about that.
I mean, you gotta think that was a whole decade.
Yeah.
That was a whole decade of LL.
Yeah.
With new style rappers.
Yeah.
Man. Like
he held his own. And was better than a lot of them.
He held his own.
And he killed cannabis. He ended cannabis's career.
He did end it.
Yeah.
I like cannabis this a little better, I'm not gonna lie.
It was a good disc, but he never recovered. Murdergram was always my favorite.
Murdergram.
It's on Mama Said Knock You Out. It's like the 4th song on there. And it's live.
What do you think is LL's biggest song?
Mama Said Knock You Out.
Might be.
He couldn't. There's no bigger song.
Yeah.
It'd be like, nothing.
Was I'm Bad bigger than Mama?
No way. No, because like people who don't listen to rap knew Mama Said Knock You Out. That's the indicator.
Yeah.
Who knows the songs? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then what was the one? Brenda's got a big old butt.
Yeah.
So, man, LL got some classics, man. Nobody really gonna do a versus with LL.
When I leave out of here, I'm putting LL Cool J on. Like I'm just gonna listen to that the whole rest of the day.
I think I might turn them on too.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. You want to look at this camera and give out your socials?
All right. First off, I appreciate you for having me, Jeff.
Oh, thank you.
You got something going on here, man. You're a good interviewer.
I don't know about that.
You can catch me on social media, Facebook at Trav TV. That's TRAVV TV. IG, same thing, TRAVV that's it.
So 2 V's.
2 V's.
2 V's. Trav with 2 V's. Thank you so much for coming on,
I appreciate you having
Travis.
me.
Good talk about rap. Good talk about the 2 songs that we did select. And then, maybe down the road we'll come back with 2 more.
You gotta run it back.
All right, we got to run it back.
Gotta
You
run
heard
it
him.
back.
So thank you so much for listening today. I close with this every single time. If you like it, tell a friend. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. I've been Jeff Phipps. This is Travis Anderson. Have a great day.
Get up off your ass. Don't forget who you are. Some people say, come on. How long we gonna keep doing this shit?
Which is, none of this makes sense to you geographically. You can't. You're not going to be Biggie.
You got something going, man. I like it.